morning, this is Anna and welcome to Spoken Words SWEC News.
The mission of Spoken Word Evangelistic Church is to exalt the Lord Jesus Christ through true worship, love, faith, and integrity, to edify, to equip, and encourage the saints, to evangelize the lost, and make a positive impact for Christ in our community, nation, and world. Just in case you missed it, we have a midweek service update. We will no longer have 2 nights during the week, but 1. Wednesday night, prayer will start at 6:30 and Bible study will follow at 7:30. Okay, so we're adding on to our media team to make sure that we are covering all things SWEC. So we're going to have an interest meeting on Sunday, March 18th, immediately following service. If you have any experience in photography, videography, if you like to jump in front of the camera like I do, then please make sure you come to this interest meeting Sunday, March 18th, immediately following service. See you there. There will be an ushers meeting on Sunday, February 25th after service. Have you ever heard of the Azusa Street Revival? Well, if you haven't, then you've been living under a rock and you need to go now and type Azusa Street Revival into your Google search bar. Miracle signs and wonders happened during this revival that started in about 1906 by William J. Seymour. It lasted roughly until about 1915. Ears grew back, blind eyes were opened, arms grew back. Miracles happened in a way that people never would have even expected. People's teeth grew back. Can you imagine your teeth growing back right in front of you? Well, that happened. So here are a few reenactments courtesy of the Sid Roth It's Supernatural show. Check it out.
Became normal, no plastic surgery, supernaturally.
You mean like the Elephant Man?
Yes.
Well, this man, his chin dropped down to about here. How he ate, I don't know.
Let's pray for this man.
And even those people at Azusa told me they didn't know. But they started praying for him, and then you could hear bones popping, and his chin started coming back up. And with just in a few minutes, he was normal. And Lucille said he was really kind of attractive. He had even his shoulder blade here ripped out at a job, and back then they didn't have the benefits they had now. He had an artificial arm hanging on it, but it was starting to really give him some trouble. And Seymour said, well, y'all need to take the artificial arm off. And he looked at the audience and said, y'all want to have some fun like we did about a year ago when the man's leg grew out? He said, well, we're going to. And he laid his hands on his shoulder. Brother Garcia looked down and said, Brother Tommy, I could look down into that hole in his shoulder and see the bone. He said he started praying for it, and he said all of a sudden the bone started growing out in about 4 inches. The flesh started growing around it. And he said, I sat there, it took only seconds, but to him, it was slow motion. And he watched it as it just grew out. And he says, then he watched as the fingernails appeared all of a sudden.
You know, if that would happen for me, I'd put a wooden box on your head, on my head. Would you do it? I know you would. We'll be right back. I can't wait for him to pray for this impartation for you. Speaking of David Garcia, tell me about the time he prayed for the man with the hole in the stomach.
That was something else. He said he had a big handkerchief hanging down over his stomach, and it didn't smell too good. Well, he came up and asked the man, he says, what is your problem? He said, well, he told him, he said he picked up and looked under it, he says, his entrails just hung out. I'm going to pray over you, sir. Is that okay? Hung down on his side. And he said, so he put the flap back down and put his hand on it and started praying, and he could feel his hand going in. And all of a sudden he says there was nobody, so he just grabbed it and put it back up. There wasn't even a hole.
It just closed up right in front of him.
His entrails went back into his stomach, and it closed up.
And you know, one of the things that impressed me, Tommy, a lot of the people that God were using were young people.
And like Sid was saying, most of these miracles and most of the people who headed up some of the services at the Azusa Street Revival were young people just like us. 17 years old. Even the youngest being 12 years old. A young boy healed a blind drunk man who stumbled in, and his eyes were opened because that boy's faith healed him. So do not say, I am but a child, but just know that the glory of God can fall on anyone, and miracle signs and wonders can happen. The time is now.
That's all we have for you today. Make sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and spokenwordevangelisticchurch.com on the website. Have a good day.